somebody who has obviously been deep in the code for like so many years, what was the most kind of significant shift that you had to make, whenever transitioning to this leadership role? What was the greatest challenge you had to face? I know a lot of the people viewing here, they are extraordinary coders, but perhaps it's a bit counterintuitive for them to become, you're not actually born a great leader, you become one. So how did this process go for you, and kind of what were the modes that you had to overcome?
Yes, I would say, so the greatest challenge was to have that perspective shift, right? What I mean by that is, when I was an IC, I knew, and this was true, that my highest leverage was in writing good quality code. Understanding the user stories that came to me, if I was leading that project, selecting a champion for it, just breaking it down. How do you really then design and implement an elegant solution, right? Without a lot of tech debt, without too many bugs, in a really nice, elegant fashion, can you deliver a feature timely? That's where my highest leverage was. And when I became, when I stepped into the leadership role, I kept thinking that, I was like, oh, is my team struggling? Let me just jump in and knock out a few more bugs. Let me just sit over this weekend and help them with it. I can do this because I was there with this code from day one. I wrote this library, so I should be able to help out my team. So let me just sit down and fix this. But that's not, that's the greatest challenge, right? To change that perspective and to believe that I was no longer an IC and I was responsible for a group of ICs. I can do so much more than just get into the weeds and start writing code. Yeah, maybe I'll make a small difference if I close one Jira task, but then what, right? It's going to come back. Do I know my skill set as a good engineering manager to navigate around it? So I think, and the word I like to use today for that is figuring out effective delegation, right? Like, for example, for this problem, I realized that what I could do is plan better, push back better with product, understand why was the team burning out, why wasn't the team able to deliver on its goals, right? And then maybe it was about providing them that slack for this one release, and then making sure that we have enough time to innovate maybe a couple of releases down the line. What can I do as a manager to get more budget, get more resources, hire more people, manage my social capital so that I can get some relief from peer managers sometimes, or even simple things like, understanding what are the problems that are going on inside the team. There is so much that I can do. And that's where my highest leverage rests, right? In fact, one of the highest leverage activities that I feel today is coaching, developing people. Because if I spend like 1 hour doing that, my, the ROI on that is like 4x. The productivity is so much more better with the well-supported engineers. So that was the biggest challenge, to kind of delegate better, to realize that there are people who can do this job better. Can I empower them? Can I enable them and get out of their way and be there to support them through that process? So, and that did not mean not being technically aware. Of course, I had to be technical all the time. And that's what makes engineering management so different from just people management.